Hey guys, what is going on? Hooksley here, and today we're doing something different besides Dead by Daylight. We're doing an Outlast Trials tier list based off of all the rigs and what I think is the best to the worst. Now, I do love this game and we do play it over on the channel, so if you ever want to go check it out, you could always go down to the About section of this video, and my channel should be right there. It's hooksley.ttv, and you know, we play some goofy games, we play this, and without further ado, why not just rank them? So I do have a good amount of experience in this game, and I am almost finished with completing every trial on psychosurgery. So I feel like I have a good grasp on how the game works, how the game operates, and this is just my simple, humble opinion on what you should be running in your trials. Now, I do not think there is a bad rig, okay? Which is why there's no like garbage tier on this list. The lowest tier we have is because I do think there is one rig that is definitely the weakest out of the others, but there is some niche uses that you can do with it, but I just don't really see a purpose of it. I don't really see a purpose of bringing it over other rigs, and that one has to be the Barricade rig. Now, the Barricade rig has a pretty low cooldown, and what this basically does is that you are allowed to barricade a entrance or walkway or wherever a door may be, and it's basically like a metal wall that you place up on a door, and the whole catch of it is that it's supposed to lock you off against an enemy that's coming in your direction, and it takes them a good amount of time to break it, which is one of the good things about it, and it is pretty fast to place up. I can definitely see you using this maybe when you're trying to do one of the control boxes where you tune the little dials and try to get the radio frequencies, or if you're just doing another objective. But in my opinion, in most trials, I just don't really see this being used that often, and I don't really see myself using it or choosing it in like escalation or psychosurgery. Like, I'd much rather have like the jammer or the stun than the barricade, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's bad, because it does have its uses. I just do not think that it is the best, which is why I do think it is at that bottom tier, and I wouldn't mind it getting a buff in the future. Now, we're going to go to the decent tier. These are rigs that are okay. They're obviously not the best in the game, but they're not the worst. They do have use. And one of those I do see is the heal rig. Now, the heal rig is, in my opinion, just the borderline B+ of all the rigs. It is an okay rig. In psychosurgery and escalation, I really don't see myself using this unless if I have a full stack of 4. But even then, I'm playing with pretty decent players, and most of the time they can just find their own healing items. Obviously, once you get up there in like escalation, like the high-ass escalation levels, yeah, there's going to be some times where there's like no items in the trial at all, and the heal rig is going to be pretty clutch. But in my opinion, it just doesn't do enough to have me bring that over a lot of other rigs in the game. Like I said, I do see a purpose for it. It works in every trial, honestly. It's not situational like the Barricade, because there's some trials with the Barricade where there's not really a lot of doors you can really barricade in the first place. But the heal rig definitely is an all-around decent jack-of-all-trades rig that I definitely would recommend bringing. So yeah, I would place that there. And then for pretty good all around, so that's the only one in decent. Now, for pretty good all around, I'm going to place the blind rig. The blind rig is on a pretty semi-long cooldown, but it is pretty decent. What this does, you place it on the floor, and if an enemy steps on it, it acts as like a landmine. You know, like the landmines that you step on in this game, and if you step on it, it gives you psychosis. This one works in your favor, and if they step on it, it explodes and it leaves a big like cloud of smoke, and it stuns them for a good amount of time. So this is good on like kill the snitch or execute the whatever the new one's called on the shopping mall. For that, it's actually pretty good. Even the new one, the one at the resort, it's also pretty good there. So overall, it is a pretty solid. Honestly, I'm gonna say it's a little underrated because not a lot of people really use this over like the other rigs, but I do think it's a solid and well-rounded rig that is good on many situations. The only downside of it, obviously, is that it takes a little bit to place. And in most maps, or in some maps, it's not really the best to have. I would much rather have one of these three, or hell, even one of these on the maps that this is probably not the best on. But overall, it is a pretty solid rig, and the cooldown is pretty long, which is why it's here. But overall, if you want to bring this, it's pretty solid. Like, I wouldn't be mad. Now, going right next to it, honestly, underrated rig. I think the X-ray rig is very underrated. I love this rig. I've been running some solo matches of Psychosurgery and Escalation. I would bring this. Or Escalation, I would choose this on the menu. And overall, it's just very safe. And it's just it feels good to have. This lets you see objects, items, quest items, enemies through walls. Like, it lets you see all of that through walls, so you're pretty much always safe. If you can never run into an enemy, you know where enemies are, you know where objective items are, so you don't have to look for them. And it's on a pretty semi-low cooldown, so I do recommend bringing this if you are curious on whether the X-ray is good, because I do think it is a solid overall rig to bring, and I have definitely been bringing it more in more trials. So the one I'm gonna have right next to it, I'm gonna put Stun. Obviously, this is probably the most common rig in the game. It's pretty simple to understand, pretty simple to use. It's decent. The cooldown is a little long, but it's a stun. That's what rig rechargers are for. You can find them pretty commonly in the trials. You know, if you just have to find a lockpick. But overall, it is a pretty solid rig, and I do recommend this. Obviously for newer players. For newer players, it's a lifesaver. You're gonna love this rig. But the cooldown does keep it there for me, because the cooldown is pretty long. Now, the last one I have is the best rig in the game, hands down. It's gotta go to the jammer. I think originally, when the jammer first came out, I didn't understand how powerful it really was until I took it into some Psychosurgery missions, and I took it into some Escalation Therapy missions. And holy, this thing is disgusting. So this thing basically allows you to hack enemies, you can hack traps, you can hack like metallic doors that close on you, you can hack it to open it back up. You can revive teammates with it. You can open padlocks with it. You can open locked doors with it. And it gives you a self-revive if you die. You can revive yourself up to full HP again. That's disgusting. It has everything. It has self-peel from enemies. You can open anything in the map. And you can self-revive with it and revive your teammates. I mean, like, hands down, that is definitely the best rig in the game. And I do highly recommend it to experienced players, like intermediate to experienced players. Hell, if you're a new player and if you want to try it, go ahead. It is one of the best rigs in the game, and it is definitely the go-to rig if you want to do high-level escalation runs, because the self-revive and reviving teammates is just too good to miss out. None of these rigs do that. So, in my opinion, those are the best rigs in the game, and thank you guys all so much for watching. If you guys want to check me out on Twitch, or subscribe, or drop a like to my YouTube, it's in the about section of my Twitch channel. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.